What is up, Catch 'em All fam? We are back, and I am bringing to you tonight a video that has been much requested both here on YouTube and on my TikTok channel. We are going to be talking about CGC grading, why I like to use them, some of the benefits, the costs, as well as how to submit your cards. So I'm going to be taking you guys through the CGC website. So you're going to want to start out at cgccomics.com. And if you don't have a membership, I'm going to show you guys that. I'm going to show you the different submission levels and how you guys can get your cards graded. All right, let's jump right in here. First, a little bit about CGC. For those of you guys who have never really done the research or are kind of new to getting your cards graded, CGC started in 2000 grading comics, and since 2000 they have become the leading expert in comic book grading. So just this past July, I think it was either June or July, they opened up trading card games. They're only doing 2 trading card games, Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. So CGC is bringing their expertise from the comic world into the trading card game world. So there is a lot of information here, and we're going to hit some of the highlights. First up, of course, is their grading. If you go to this page on their website, you can see their team members with their primary graders, finalizers, and then other graders, that work for CGC, as well as their consultants. So if you want to get to know the people who are going to be handling your cards, read through that. And let's talk about the grading process while we're in here. So, this is key. The process is what makes their service worth having, okay? So they kind of take you right here through a step-by-step of what happens with your cards when you send them in. First is receiving, where everything is under lock and key and under security cameras to make sure everything is on the up and up. Then they go through and they verify. They do a research phase where they're checking out your cards and making sure that they know what they're looking at. Then it's authentication. First things first is to make sure that it's a real card. And then they actually get into the grading. Now, CGC's grading is very strict. Centering has no room for error if you want a CGC pristine 10. PSA will allow you to have some variance left or right, up or down, and still get a 10. Not gonna happen with CGC. And to me, that's what I love about CGC's grading. Next is the encapsulation phase, where they're gonna put your card in the capsule, and this thing is supposed to be tamper-proof and really, really hard to open up. And you want it that way by design. Then it goes through quality control. A specialist is going to carefully inspect the card and the label and everything else about it. And then it goes on to packaging and shipping, which the way they package and ship is very secure. I've gotten many cards back, never had a problem with any of my shipping. So that's kind of their process, a very abbreviated version of all of that. Let's talk a little bit about their grading scale. And we're going to jump straight to trading cards. So a pristine 10, this is the highest grade you can get, and it requires all 10 subgrades. Quad 10s is what it's called, and this gets you a perfect 10. There can't be any evidence of manufacturing or handling defects, and the centering has to be perfect. That is the key. The centering's got to be perfect if you want that pristine 10. And then from there, they go down in increments of half points. And from what I've seen, guys, CGC is about a point off from PSA. A PSA 10 is about a CGC 9.5, based on how strict their grading process and policies are. Okay, now let's get into the nuts and bolts of how you want to submit. Okay. Submitting to CGC is quite simple, and first is understanding what the services and fees are. So we're in grading, we're going to scroll past comics and get to trading cards, okay? Bulk is where you can submit at least 50 cards, and it's only going to cost you $8 per card. It's got a 30-day turnaround time, which is 30 working days. That's actually 6 weeks. It's going to take 6 weeks to get these back, and you can only have a maximum card value of $100. Next is economy, where you can do up to a $400 card. $15 is the fee, and that same 6-week turnaround. Then you have the standard grading, which is a $1,000 card. $20 is the fee, and that one's only going to take 4 weeks to get back. The express level, much more valuable cards. It's $30 per card, and you get that one back in 2 weeks. And then you have the walkthrough service. It doesn't matter what the value of the card is, and it's going to cost you $50 per card. You're going to get that back in 2 days. Now, some of your optional things are subgrades. I highly recommend using the subgrades when you are grading your more valuable cards. It's worth it to know what the centering, corners, edges, and surface, are actually how they're affecting the grade that you got. Especially if you're looking for that 10, you want to see that all of the subgrades are 10s. It's going to cost you an extra $5, but it is worth it. Same thing with the error cards. Jungle Edition has a lot of errors where the card has no symbol. It's missing the jungle symbol. So you would pay the extra $5 and have that graded as an error card. Now, pedigree, I'm not super familiar with. I think this has to do with tracking with tracking a card's history and its various owners. So you can pay $5 for that as well. And then you've got crossover. If you've got a card that is PSA or Beckett and you want to have it evaluated for CGC, they're going to take it out of its holder, and then they're going to grade it themselves. It says here that it's 50% of the tier fee if the card does cross. The fee is refunded less a $4 processing fee if the card does not cross. Then you got reholder fees. Sometimes these holders, they can get scratched up or damaged. This, they can do that for you in 2 weeks with a with a $10 fee. And then imaging is also available, where they will give you a digital image of your card under any of the grading tiers. Okay, now let's get back up here, and I'm going to show you guys now how to go through and submit to CGC. First thing you're going to do is create an account, going up here to join and going through all the process there. You don't have to have a membership, but you do have to have an account to be able to submit to CGC. I do recommend the membership though, because you get some discounts. All right, so all my information is already in there, and I'm going to sign in. Okay. From here, you're going to go to submit. We've got submission forms up here. Okay. Now this is going to bring you to this page, which this is a very important page. You can view status of your current submissions that are already in at CGC, or you can create a new one. So we're going to create a new one, going to Trading Cards online form. All right, and then it's quite simply, you're just going to follow the steps. You're going to select that you're submitting a trading card. You're going to mail it into headquarters, unless you live nearby, in which you can do drop off at a show, or you can drop off at their facility, I believe. And you're going to select grading as the service that you want. Obviously, if it's crossover or reholder, you would choose one of those. Hit next, and now you're going to put in the trading card information. So you're going to select what game it is you're submitting for, the language, followed by the card that you want to submit. So let's assume here that I have a base Charizard. Now when I type in the name, it's going to give me all the numbers that it has associated with that name. So base Charizard is 4 of 102. Then you've got some set name options here that automatically populate. So it's base set, is it first edition, shadowless, or unlimited? We're going to say this is a first edition. Now the year is automatically going to populate based on that information. If you aren't sure about the year, that's okay, you can leave that blank. Now what you want to do is add any variants that you have. Holo, if it's a gray stamp, you'd want to go ahead and submit that, and your estimated value. We're going to say that this one's $10,000. Okay, Down here is your additional information. Are you resubmitting for them to check over their previous work? Are you submitting with pedigree, or are you submitting this as an error card? You're going to hit next. Here you're going to select your grading tier, and it's automatically going to gray out the ones that you don't qualify for. For instance, this one's maximum card value is higher than these, so it doesn't even give you the option to select that. We're going to choose walkthrough because a card that valuable, we want it back quickly. We're also going to choose subgrades because we want to get that. Now you'll notice here that it's $4.50 instead of $5. That's because I'm a member, and you get a discount on all the services if you're a member. You'll also notice that the walkthrough is only $45 as opposed to $50. Then you'll hit add to cart. And that's it. Now your cart is loaded. So to be able to move forward and to send this off, you're going to go to your cart and you'll go to checkout. And actually this one's not letting me check out at the moment because I do have a bulk order started. But after you get through the checkout process, it's literally just your shipping information, your credit card, and you're going to select all of that information. And then what you'll do is you'll print out your packing slip, and that packing slip gets shipped in the box with your cards and your proper packaging. I'll do another video on how to package, but tonight I just wanted to go through kind of the process here for you guys so that you can see how you would do the online portion of CGC. And guys, this is not hard. I've never used a middleman. Some people who are uncomfortable, may want to use a middleman, but honestly, guys, this information it's not really complicated, and this is not a really complicated process. It's not hard to do, so I very much recommend that you go ahead and give this a try. I would for sure try it, with some cards that are, maybe less valuable, but that you still want it graded. That way, if something does happen, you're not risking your prized possessions. But guys, that is it on moving through the CGC process. If you guys would like more information on this, feel free to reach out to me and I'll answer any questions that you may have. I'd love to help you out in any way that I can and help you get your cards graded with CGC. Guys, that's it for tonight, and we will see you on the next video, and I will try to get a video on packaging for CGC here soon. See you next time, guys.